This video was brought to you by Markus Bil, Elbilmek, ABRP Planner, Steurenberg, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? We are now at home getting ready for a range test of BYD Seal. Unfortunately, I have to drive at night, so we have to also bear that in mind, that the efficiency or the consumption number won't be the lowest possible, but okay, look here. Oh yeah, let me see in the back also. Look at that. Ambient light, glass roof. Wait, what about? Oh, Dyn audio, door closing sound. Oh, okay, yeah, I have the bottle there. Okay, sorry for that. So I charge the car to 100%, but it's not true 100%. I mean, we have 99.8. Okay, so I will count that, because if I plug in now, it will not charge back to 100%. But whatever. And the car is so weird, so we have to actually look at car scanner. We have to look at discharge energy versus charge energy, and by looking at these we can figure out how much we consume, because whatever we see here or whatever we see over here in the new energy here, okay, wait, no, they rename it to energy. Wow, what happened to new energy? But consumption here, it doesn't show you a trip meter like most other cars. And then this consumption only shows you for the past 50 kilometers. So, you know, freaking Chinese cars, yes, but at least I'm half Chinese, so I have ways to figure out how high the consumption is. So first what we have to do is go over to Ioniq. I'll show you here. It's over there, and that will be the starting position. We are now at Ioniq. For once, we can start from here because it's weekend. Well, I mean, it's Friday soon. So the plan is to drive all the way to Rudshøg and back again. And we actually do the 120 test first. So now we're down to 96%. We started with 520 kilometers. So I can show you there's a setting here. If you go to the car menu and energy, and you see under energy manager, range mode, standard or dynamic. Standard is a fixed rate, and then dynamic is the GOM based. So let me see, if I switch now, this is standard. If I switch to dynamic, it should be lower. Wait for it to recalculate there. Okay, so we're gonna go for standard, because then we can look at it as percentage also more accurately. But actually we don't really need it, because this is more accurate. So we just count how much we start with here, and then we do the test, and then I just reset trip A here. We have two trip, yeah, almost forgot there's a button here on the stock. We can switch between trip A, trip B, and odometer. I forgot about that in the Seal U I tested. Oh, we're on the move. We have to cruise at 122 kilometers per hour on the speedo. We can actually use eco mode, and it works. Yeah, some cars, Chinese cars, I don't remember, will limit to only 120 kilometers per hour. But okay, and then I have to crank up the heat to 25 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's just how it is with Chinese cars. Well, let me see. Oh, we have some fresh ass on this side here. Oh, it's nice and quiet. Oh yeah. And this car has something Tesla doesn't have, which is the head-up display. What do you think about that? And then how is Mjøsen today? Oh, that windsock is hanging. Maybe it's kaput. Okay, some wind, and then 15 degrees Celsius over here. So, oh, there's some road construction on the other side there. So, yeah, but we're gonna go quite far, so that short stretch here will not affect it too much. But the Seal has a nice ride. Yeah, it feels similar to Highland. It has this nice comfort in the ride, and also it's quiet, and we have good seat with some okay side support. Maybe not sporty bucket seat, but at least some side support there. So yeah, the only thing I have to complain about is the auto steer. You know, BYD, it's doing that uneven drive, but it's actually not that bad. Not as bad as I've seen in previous BYDs. But when it goes into curves, it will do some weird shit. Sometimes it's hard to catch it while they're doing it, but suddenly auto steer will just stop working in the curve. Or sometimes it just goes in a really weird direction, and I have to take over. So yeah, auto steer in a Tesla is way better than the BYD, but at least I feel like this Seal has better auto steer than the other BYDs in the past. Oh, like that. Oh, what the heck was that? Okay, I don't know if you could see it, but it's a bit dangerous to film it while it's happening, but it just suddenly stopped working and it just started moving over to the other lane. Like, man, that is super cringe. And this is a bit strange. Just like other BYDs, I don't know how to increase the cruise control speed by 1 kilometer per hour. So the only way to do it is to increase the speed manually until I hit that speed I want, and then I can set it like now to 122 kilometers per hour. But also, if you display something else in the display here, and then you just change lane, for example, or do something, let me see, auto steer re-enables, or if I re-enable auto steer, it will automatically come back to this display. This happens with many Chinese cars. But I'll show you here. If you go to this display, now what the heck is wrong with auto steer now? Shit, man. This is exactly what I've been talking about. I have to re-enable it. Okay. No, and then it goes back there. I want to see this screen. You see that according to this display, it is running on all-wheel drive permanently, even in eco mode. Huh? Really? Okay, is there not a way to disengage one motor, or maybe it runs? No, shit. Maybe it runs on the 2 PM motors. So yeah, it seems like it is not that efficient because we are getting close to the 50 kilometer mark, and we have consumed 243 watt-hour per kilometer. Model 3 in these conditions should consume around 200 watt-hour per kilometer. So well, we just have to see by the end of the test then. Okay, we're now at the 100 kilometer checkpoint and we have consumed 237 watt-hour per kilometer. But I find something strange. If you look at the odometer and the cumulative consumption, right? If you multiply these two, you get around 900 something kilowatt hour discharge. But then car scanner reports 1,400. Or if you take 1,400 divided by 5,000 something kilometer, you get around 280 watt-hour per kilometer. But 280 is highly unlikely, so there might be some discharging that is not counted here then. Maybe preheating, maybe stationary, maybe vampire drain, or maybe vehicle to load. Yeah, I'm not sure really, but there are several hundred kilowatt-hour difference. Well, let's say let me see if I like 400 or 500 kilowatt-hour difference between these two numbers. So that is a big mystery. Or maybe this number here is underreported or lying. Well, that could also be it. It is now almost midnight and we are on June 20, and this is the brightest day of the year. And it is really bright even far south in Norway around Oslo. So when you go north, like at least past Trondheim, is even brighter than here. So yeah, man, it's nice. We should enjoy the Nordic summer before it's over soon. Shit. Okay, at the 150 kilometer checkpoint, we have 246 watt-hour per kilometer. Oh, it's a bit bright. Oh yeah, look at that. The moon is so big right now. It's freaking humongous. Wow. Let's see if I can get a clear shot of the moon. It's gonna hard. Oh. We are done with the test and the car reports 179 kilometers. The real distance is 182 kilometers. So we have 1.5% underreported distance. And then if we look at the numbers here, well, we take this, it was 1399, so we have spent 44 kilowatt hour, but we also region 1. So the way I interpret this is that we spent 43 kilowatt hour total. Divide that by 182 kilometers and we get 236 watt hour per kilometer. And that should correspond with what we see here. So yeah, everything makes sense now. Okay, now we just reset and then we go for another run. Well, we're on the move and this time we're cruising at 93 kilometers per hour. And this is a small blunder. I forgot to reset the trip meter. Oh, well, we can always see how much we have. I mean, we know what it was before we reset. I mean, before we're supposed to reset it, so we can always calculate there. But or we can just go by the real world distance also. So I'm not sure if we can go the full loop this time, you know, all the way to Rudshøg in the back end. We'll see, because the car claims that we have 209 kilometers of range now, but I mean that's a flat rate, right? Okay, we'll see. I'll always figure out something. Wait, so even at 90 kilometers per hour, the car is using both motors. So it seems like it cannot disconnect one of the motors. That could be one of the reasons why the car is a bit thirsty. Okay, let's check the weight. Front axle, 1180. Oh, shit. This is a heavy car. What? 2,320? Oh, shit. Almost as heavy as a BMW i4. A lot heavier than Model 3. Wow. We have now reached the 50-kilometer checkpoint, and the consumption is 197 watt-hour per kilometer. What the heck, man? Highland, you know, Model 3 Highland, in winter consume way less. So, man, seems like this is a thirsty beast from the east. Well, we just have to see once we have done with the test, and there's still a long way to go. Yeah, we have to go all the way to the turning point. Well, actually, can we make it there or not? We are now in Hamar, and I realized that we have to turn around early. So I did some estimation, and it seems like we have around 80 kilowatt hour net capacity, and not 82.5. But that means that we have roughly 20 kilowatt hour left. And based on around 200 watt hour per kilometer, we can only go 100 more kilometers. So just better safe than sorry. I'm gonna turn around soon. You see, we are 73 kilometers away from Dal. Just in case stuff here plummets towards the end, who knows, right? So, okay, I might drive a little bit further and then we turn around. Okay, the next 50 kilometer section has been reached and consumption is still high. 195 watt hour per kilometer. Yeah, this is probably the end consumption, and we'll see. We have around 40 kilometers left before we are at Ioniq. Okay, we're done with the test, and this time I calculated that we consumed 200 watt hour per kilometer. Ooh, okay, and also based on the numbers here and 4.5% left, I can also calculate that we have 80.8 kilowatt hour net capacity. All right, let's see. This car is supposed to take 150 kilowatt charging, but is the battery too hot now? I think ideally want to have it cooler, but okay, whatever. Let's plug it in and see what kind of speed we get then. Okay, let's see what we get. What do we get? Ooh, 135 kilowatts. Not too bad. Look at this. Well, the resting voltage is 550 volts, but the charging voltage is almost 600. And this is LFP battery here, blade battery. Or maybe that's why the car is so heavy. Because the energy density in blade battery is somewhat low compared to the other, well, NMC or NCA or some of the other ones. And now let's test the Dyn audio sound system. Bass, fairly clear. Well, actually it's missing some details here. It sounds a bit muffled. You can go into the audio settings here. Dyn audio focus, cabin, driver, yeah, so we're just gonna set the cabin. Sound, the equalizer. Nice and deep bass, but it seems like it lacks a bit in the higher tone, higher and details in the high frequencies. Let's listen for some rattling in the doors then. The subwoofer is in the rear, in the back there, in the right side, in the trunk. Yeah, some rattling. Rattling also coming Okay, nice deep bass, I like it. Also good punch on it. Yeah. This is legit. But you probably notice that the volume meter doesn't go that high. So if I go to some of the more intense parts here, I'm gonna try to crank up the volume all the way up now. Now it might clip in the camera, but that's camera microphone clipping. But I'm gonna listen for some clipping and distortion now. Well, very impressive because it does not clip. There's no distortion because it doesn't play that loud. Maybe that's the trick for Chinese people, to just software limit the stereo system to not play too loud so you don't hit the distortion and clipping. Let me see, there was one more song I want to listen to, but I have to go in this album. And then I don't know why it's not, yeah, sometimes it's not available. So then I have to play it here instead. Something about the sample rate or something that the car doesn't recognize, but then this is an MP3, I think, that's why it works. I'm gonna listen to the linearity in the bass. Okay, overall sounds okay. Bass is nice and punchy, but I mean, I'm lacking that extra punch that you get in the high-end system. It goes deep at least, but there seems to be a peak maybe around 60 Hertz. Not the major peak, but it doesn't seem to be super linear as some of the high-end systems. It doesn't play that loud, and also, like I mentioned, I'm lacking that, I don't know, it's just the crispness, the detail in the higher frequencies. If I play it in a high-end system, I can really feel that I'm almost surrounded by the music. Here I feel like it's a bit muffled, it lacks the detail, it just, I don't know how to put this. Yeah, even though when I talk about surrounded by music, I always use the flat equalizer, no surround processing, just as pure as possible. But the high-end systems, they just reproduce the sound better, and it's just more pleasing to listen to. But I'm not saying that this is annoying, it's just that it might not be that great. So and then in comparison to Tesla, yes, Model 3, they have better sound system than this BYD. That's my claim. You can always just listen to yourself and figure out if you also agree with me or not. Okay, so based on the semi-cold summer test today, we see that we don't get that much range here, only 404 kilometers. So Model 3 has way more range, and even a BMW i4 M50, which is similar size, also heavy, also has better range and well, efficiency. So I don't know what's up with this BYD. I mean, the other BYDs I tried, they are not overdrive, but they are more efficient. So it seems like maybe the overdrive system of the BYD is not that smart or not that sophisticated or that efficient, because the drag coefficient is good, and that's probably why there is not much difference between the low speed test and the high speed test here. But yeah, maybe if I have the time, I would try to do a consumption test when it's warmer, but I'm running out of time because I have to prioritize 1,000 kilometer challenge with this car. But I can already tell that this is not going to be a 10-hour run. It's going to be slightly slower. Well, actually, maybe it can be a 10-hour run. It depends on the charging curve, of course. Oh, we're taking 150 kilowatt now. But it's not going to be as fast as Tesla. So yeah, that's pretty much sure. I'm sure about that. But I also wonder, why is the car so thirsty? Maybe you guys have an idea. Why is the car so thirsty? It's aerodynamic, it's slick. It wasn't that cold outside. And even a Tesla, when it was running cold, like Highland, was in fact more efficient even in winter when it was wet outside. So there must be some other explanation, right? Why this car is so, well, I wouldn't say thirsty, but what the heck? The car tried to lock itself and then car scanner was running, so it's like, okay, sorry. But yeah, why is the car not so efficient as the BMW and the Tesla? Do you guys have a good explanation? Okay, anyway, that's gonna be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.